Hi, I'm Doctor Low Chai Ling, and together with my team at SW1, I'm here to change the world one face at a time. Welcome to SW1's podcast channel, where we cover topics from beauty to skin health. We will give you the lowdown on how to look and feel your best, so tune in to us every Tuesday and Fridays. Well, today, here with me, I have Michelle. We will be talking about eating for beauty. So, Michelle, what do you think eating for beauty means?
I think it's about eating the right kinds of food for glowing skin, or for bright eyes, or for beautiful hair.
That's actually very interesting because, I was just looking at the models during Fashion Week. In the past, the models were all really quite skinny, a little bit anorexic. But do you notice nowadays the models are looking fitter, more toned, their skin actually glows, and they actually have a bit more muscles. I think that could be a shift in beauty, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because everyone seems to think that being beautiful, or at least in the past, it was all about being skinny and thin. But now it's all about embracing your body shape and how you look. It could be skinny or maybe on the rounder side, but it's all about embracing and being the best version of that.
That's very true because I actually saw a newspaper article for plus size models, and they are actually a little bit, as you say, more voluptuous than your skinny ones. Even Kim Kardashian is a little bit more on the voluptuous side than the skinny side, isn't she?
Yes, but she's actually a size 4, a US size 4.
Okay, I can't believe that. But one thing I think it's for sure is all of them have great skin.
That's
That
right.
we can agree,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And I read that Giselle Bundchen actually promotes eating healthily. And she isn't one of these models who claims to eat cheeseburgers and yet look great. I saw in her new book, Lessons My Path to a Meaningful Life, that she actually eats mainly whole foods and a plant based diet. What do you think of that?
It sounds a bit boring, actually. I'm not sure if I could live like that, just eating a plant-based diet.
It's true. I mean, in her book, she says the majority of her meals are raw or lightly steamed vegetables, and she drinks beetroot juice every morning.
Actually, I'm not a fan of beetroot juice or beetroot, so I cannot imagine drinking that at all.
Even if it means that you get to marry somebody like Tom Brady.
Then maybe I might just try and switch.
But for the rest of us who doesn't have our own personal chef, then there are things we can do to make our skin better. Do you do anything to make your skin better, Michelle? Maybe any tips you can share with the readers that you found useful so far?
Well, for me, I've always been an advocate of my beauty regime, doing exfoliation once or twice a week, using a mask at least once a week. Recently, I started taking this pill called Crystal Tomato,
Oh, okay.
and that seems to make my skin brighter. I've been taking it for about a month and a half now,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, I can't say I am unhappy with the results. It
Yes.
seems to have made a difference.
Yes, your skin definitely does look better. I mean, at my clinic, I usually see patients for treatments, and one of the most common treatments that I do is to treat acne. And not just for teenagers. In fact, adult acne seems to be an increasing problem. Do you actually suffer from adult acne?
Yes, actually, I recently had a bout of a breakout, and I was wondering, is it because I was going through my second phase?
Or maybe husbands are getting more exasperating nowadays. Yeah, yeah. So for my patients who have acne, besides the usual treatments that we have, like our clarity program and purity program, I actually give some dietary advice to my patients, and one of them you may not be so happy to hear is to avoid sugar.
Oh, really? Is it possible to totally avoid sugar in your diet?
Well, actually, it's not possible to totally avoid all sugars because even foods, just like your fruits, will have sugar, but you can do your best to avoid processed, refined sugar, such as your Coke or even chocolate bars. That way, you will find a big improvement in your skin. And not to mention your weight as well. If you actually cut down your sugar, you will find much more easy to lose weight.
Actually, I've noticed a friend who totally cut off sugar because he had to, and he lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
He almost became half of his
Yes.
original size.
You know, they are saying that sugar is actually the new drug. And the more you take sugar, the more addicted you'll be. If you can cut off all processed sugar in your diet, you will be much healthier.
So is there a difference between white sugar and brown sugar?
You know, end of the day, there's still sugar, so it's better to cut it off completely, which means if you want coffee, best to take it black. There are plenty of sugars already in our diet. If you take a smoothie and you are mashing together fresh fruits, you are already getting the sugar there. But when you're taking fresh fruits, because there's fiber in the fruits, then it also slows the absorption of this sugar, which prevents your insulin from peaking right after consumption, and it's actually healthier for you. So cutting off sugar, if you have pimples, that's my first advice.
Okay. I actually thought eating chocolates were good for my skin.
You know, that's true, but only the cocoa ingredient in the chocolates. So not the sugar in it. If you want chocolate to be anti-aging for you, I would advise going for something with 70 to 80% cocoa, which is dark chocolate. And if you have tasted dark chocolate before, you'll know that it isn't quite that sweet. So your Mars bar, it's probably, majority of it is probably just processed sugar. Now, the second thing I actually tell my patients that is vastly useful to prevent breakouts is actually to avoid dairy. Is that a shock to you?
Yeah, because I personally enjoy drinking milk and having yogurt, so I thought they were actually good for my skin.
And I think in recent times there has been a huge movement promoting milk, hasn't it? I've been seeing these adverts, got milk, you know, and pushing people to drink milk. But I think that this is very much related to the increased consumption of milk. You see, the milk of today is quite different from the milk of yesteryears. They're going to be coming from pregnant cows where there are hormones, and this will promote excess sebum production, promoting acne. So I tell patients, if they want to consume milk, consider alternatives such as goat's milk or even almond milk.
Do you have any brands to recommend?
Actually, no brands in particular. I think that I have tried almond milk personally, and I think that is a great addition to your smoothie. So my patients who love making smoothies and they are always putting a little bit of milk in, switching to almond milk seems to really help their skin. Now, these are just a few things to avoid, and I think maybe avoiding things are always a little bit difficult. But there are also some things you can take to make your skin healthier, not just for acne, but also to slow down aging. So one of the best thing I find is to have a lot of vegetables of different colors for all your meals and a green juice every day. Is that something you find attractive? You think you can incorporate that into your diet realistically?
Yes, I think so. I think there actually has been an increase in avocados in lots of your sandwiches and salads nowadays. I think people are starting to recognize the importance of eating fruits or like avocado. But if I were to drink too much juice, is that also taking in too much sugar?
Yes. If you're taking a lot of fruit juices, then the sugar content is quite high. And that's why I was talking more about if you wanted to take fruits to make them into a smoothie, because you're not actually getting rid of the fiber or the pulp and you're actually mashing the whole fruit inside, which actually ends up being a little bit more filling. With juices, I prefer them green, which means you're really taking things from kale, cucumber, celery. I don't know about you, but I took a long time to get used to drinking green juices. It has a particular taste and it's not quite for everyone. Have you actually tried them yourself?
No, I haven't tried a green juice before.
Yeah. Well, some of my patients can't take green juices. They don't take too much vegetables. I then tell them to buy liquid chlorophyll. It tastes a little bit like mint, but it oxygenates the skin and it works from inside out to keep the skin healthy and glowing.
And this is easily available anywhere?
Yes, I think liquid chlorophyll is easily available from many sources, even Amazon. And it tastes like mint, it oxygenates the skin, and really works from inside out to keep your skin healthy and glowing.
So besides these, are there any other things I could get or eat?
Well, like I
better
mentioned
skin?
before, vegetables in 3 colors, red, yellow, and green, are great. So besides red tomatoes, there are also other fruits and vegetables we can do to make your skin healthy. You can consider yellow peppers and green vegetables. But if you are thinking of green vegetables, I would go for the ones that are really deep green in color, like kale or spinach, because they tend to be better for your skin. These vegetables, they fight the free radicals that break down collagen over time, so they can help support the delicate, thin skin, like the skin around your eyes. Does that sound good?
That sounds possible, but it sounds a bit boring and bland, to be honest.
That's true. Not all of us can incorporate all these vegetables into our diet, and that's why my patients often come to me asking questions about what sort of supplements they can take. And the truth is, if your diet isn't optimal, you can actually supplement with things like probiotics. Probiotics is essentially good bacteria, and that's of really great interest for me because last year we actually did a study on skin microbiome, which means that we looked at the amount of good and bad bacteria on your skin and the sort of skin problems that you have. And we found that when this balance is disrupted, patients tend to have more incidences of acne or even rashes. So when you take probiotic capsules, you can improve both your skin health and gut health. Have you taken probiotics before?
Well, I've tried it before, but then I actually got lazy and stopped with probiotics. But I've heard about other fats. I'm not sure if they are fats, but what about spices like turmeric? I've heard they're also good for your skin, whether as a mask or something that you consume on a regular basis.
Well, that's quite interesting because isn't the turmeric lattes making a comeback these days? I've been seeing them popping up in coffee shops because turmeric is now the ingredient, isn't it? The latest ingredient for anti-aging. It actually is a spice found in Indian cuisine, and a lot of our Asian cooking uses a lot of herbs like turmeric. But if you find it difficult to work the ingredient to your diet, then of course turmeric again comes in a supplement form. Actually, recently one of my patients told me she bought turmeric capsules from Amazon. So that's perhaps one place you can look if you want to look for turmeric supplements. Of course, not forgetting the usual supplements that I recommend to my patients, like your omega-3 fatty acids. And if you're not taking a great diet, consider a multivitamin that includes vitamin C, vitamin A, and E.
So there are vitamins that incorporate all these essential vitamins.
Yes. Do you take all these vitamins in your...
No, I try to incorporate them in my diet.
Yes.
I do like sour fruits, so I assume they already contain lots of vitamin C.
Yes. Citrus fruits do contain lots of vitamin C. But interestingly, one of my patients actually find it hard to swallow a lot of vitamins, especially the ones with huge capsules. And I told them to buy those of lower concentration that's found in smaller capsules and then just take a few of them. I think that way of incorporating the vitamins into your diet is more realistic for most women, isn't it, than trying to swallow one huge gigantic capsule.
And is there such a thing as taking too much vitamins?
Yes, there is. I mean, for certain things like your vitamin C, which B and C, which is water soluble, there isn't too much of a problem because you will just excrete it. But for your fat soluble vitamins like your vitamin A, D, E, and K, you really want to stay within the recommended daily limits. Otherwise, they can cause some problems because you don't excrete them as easily as your vitamin B and C. So I think if you follow the instructions on the bottle, you would be safe. You've been listening to SW1's podcast channel. Write in to us if you have any topics you want us to cover by emailing help@sw1clinic.com.